Hey there, today we are doing furniture makeovers or furniture flips or whatever you want to call them. They look better. I think they look better. Hi there, free range friends. Welcome to Free Range Cottage. I am Tanya and I am the creator of this YouTube channel, and I also have a blog called freerangecottage.com, as well as an Etsy store. And today we are going to do a couple of furniture flips. Well, I'm going to show you a couple anyway. And I always love these videos, and the reason why is because the furniture is done. I'm not going to pretend it's not a lot of work, because it can be a lot of work depending on what you're doing. But the end result is just so good that that's what fuels me and keeps me going. The first piece that I'm going to show you is a small armoire. It's not real tall for an armoire, but it is rather deep. And this is a solid wood, I believe it's solid oak piece that we had bought as part of a furniture set from my friend, and she had bought it for her daughter years before, and we had bought it for our youngest son, who is now 23. So you can imagine we've had it for well over a decade. And it even spent some time over at my oldest son's house and then came back. Well, I tried it in several locations to see size-wise how it would work, and it just wasn't working in this house. So I decided to go ahead and do a makeover on it and flip it. What I did first was just cleaned it really well, just the regular routine, cleaned it really well, and I used Mineral Fusion paint in raw silk. And I just absolutely love this paint. It doesn't require a top coat for most jobs, so it's quick and it's quite easy. It's a thinner paint when it rolls on, but the coverage is nice. Of course, with white, it usually takes more coats than with your colors, but the after was fantastic, and I just loved it. I loved the chippy white finish on it. And I had it in my bedroom for a while. It just was more furniture, too big of a piece for what I needed. And so I sold it for a profit on Facebook Marketplace. The next piece of furniture that I redid was this Apothecary Cabinet that I actually bought off of Facebook Marketplace. And if you had been following along with some of my videos, you would have seen this one in the past. It is a pine wood piece, and the problem with pine is that it gets very yellow or very orange over time. Sometimes it's the polyurethane that just yellows on you. So rather than sanding this all down, I would have loved to have sanded this piece and just had the natural wood, but I knew it was going to take more elbow grease and time than I had right now. I went ahead and painted gray Annie Sloan chalk paint as more of a base coat, just so that when I got the chippiness that I wanted on it, the gray would show through and not necessarily the wood. And so then I did a top coat of Miss Mustard Seed milk paint, and this color is called Farmhouse White. She has several different whites, and of course in the world of paint there are many, many, many whites, but this one I'm just in love with. I definitely have to use this on something again. I hadn't used it before, and it's just the perfect warm white, and it's not yellowy. and it's not too blue like a cool white. It's just the perfect farmhouse white. It's got a great name. So the first way I styled this piece, it's in our small dining room. Our dining room doesn't have any other storage. What I did is I styled it up. I didn't mention about the hardware. I reused some of the knobs that were on there, but on the small drawers, I went ahead and purchased some off of, I believe it was Lowe's.com. I'll find the link and put it below. But what we liked, Rob and I both were looking for something larger, and all the ones off of Amazon or different places we were looking, they were either very expensive or too small. And we wanted something bigger. I was actually going to put a rust finish on these, but this soft brass ended up being a really nice finish once I held it up to the paint color that I had used, that warm white. So we added that, and I styled it, of course, in my neutrals, in my white ironstone, some white ironstone pieces I have. Now it had a glass shelf going across the top, the middle of that top piece, and you can see there that we removed those, some people call them mullions, some people call them muntins, the wood pieces that were in the pattern on the glass. Now normally I really like those, but in all the actual antique apothecary cabinets that I was seeing online, they were just the plain glass on top. So that actually kind of dated the piece and made it look like something that was probably produced in the 90s, when it probably was. So when we removed those, it gave it a more authentic look, I think. And so I took the glass shelf out. I really hate glass shelves. They come in absolutely everything, and to me they just look really dated unless it's a certain piece. Now I have seen some that I liked, but most of these wood pieces that were produced to look sort of vintage, and then they stick those glass shelves in there, I always have to replace those. So this one I just left the shelf out. I was planning on putting a shelf in there, and I may still do that, but I'm really liking that you can put taller pieces in there, and and you can still put some plates up on the top. So I kind of really like that. So we'll see how that goes. But with all of my neutrals, my white ironstone and touches of wood, and then I took my little pots that I had just thrifted, these little clay pots, and my wooden bowl that I had bought at a flea market, and I kind of just used it as a filler, like a vase filler, bowl filler, and it just looks so summery and fun right now. And then I also brought in some air plants, and of course I love my air plants. They move all over my house. They add just that gorgeous touch of green, and truth be told, I've seen some artificial air plants that look really authentic, so If you're afraid to get the real thing or just don't want to mess with it, then you may want to go the artificial route. And then I decided to switch out and pull out all of the lettuceware pieces that I have, because I thought with this white it would just be so pretty to add in with that green and white for summer. So I think it really makes those dishes pop. And I added in just that little bit of yellow. I had bought some yellow sort of mushroom pieces. I don't know if they're like a fungus or a mushroom, but they're yellow. I got them at Crate and Barrel, and I just propped those in the top to see if I would want a touch of yellow up there. And there's a touch of yellow in that pitcher that I bought, and in those concrete pears that I had bought at an estate sale. So it all just kind of pulled together, and it looks really fresh for summer. I don't know if I'll go back to the neutral or leave the green, but I think either one is pretty stunning. The white doesn't show up as much, but it does give that layered look, which I love, but still really restful on the eye. I didn't show it to you with my dining table because my dining table is piled with stuff right now, you guys. I am in the middle of decluttering. I'm a person that, believe it or not, I don't keep lots and lots and lots of stuff. My family knows a couple times a year, you better plan on a serious clean out. So that's kind of what I'm in the middle of right now. It feels really good to make those decisions about what do I really love and what really has a place in my home that I want to take care of. Anyway, just to let you know why I didn't take pictures with my table in there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed these makeovers. I'm still a chippy white paint lover. The reason that I did the chippy white, especially on the little Armoire cabinet, is because that's generally what sells. I did sell a green dresser not too long ago, so green is really having its moment right now, but generally people are still wanting the white or the chippy white, and it's understandable. It does go with everything. I'm loving seeing this trend more towards the sanded down and sort of bleached or just sanded down to the natural wood on some of your prettier woods. They feel so nature inspired and organic and just more effortless, I think, more comfortable. So anyway, friends, this was fun, and I hope you enjoyed the before and afters. And if you like this kind of content, be sure to subscribe and be sure to share and like and do all the things. We are quickly approaching 15,000 subscribers, and I'm in shock and awe, and I feel like I've made so many new friends, love the same things that I do, and encounter the same, let's say, issues, hurdles, and where we can apply our creativity. And I just love that, and our, not just creativity, but our experience too. That counts for something, right? So thanks for watching, and I will see you again very soon.